Hello, parents. My name is Rosemary Hyder. I am the Curriculum Coordinator for English Learner and Biliteracy programs from the San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools. This webinar will give you an overview of the English language proficiency assessments for California. So let's get started. California is a very diverse state, and many of the students in California speak more than one language. In our San Bernardino County, we have around 407,268 students and approximately 58,874 of those students are English learners, according to our 2019 data. Now I'd like to tell you a bit more about the ELPAC so you know what to expect when your child participates in this test. The first important thing to know is that the ELPAC is made up of two separate tests, the Initial ELPAC and the Summative ELPAC. Each assessment has a different purpose. The Initial ELPAC is used to identify a student as either an English learner who needs support to learn English or as proficient in English. The Summative ELPAC is used to measure the skills of English learners. The results will help tell the school or district if the student is ready to be reclassified as proficient in English. If your child is in their first year of school here in California, when you enrolled your child in school, you completed a home language survey asking what language was spoken at home. The home language survey is what indicates whether a student needs to take the Initial ELPAC assessment. If a language other than English is indicated, it becomes the basis for the administration of the Initial ELPAC. This survey is done only once when a student enrolls in a California public school for the first time and is conducted by the school or local education authority, also known as your district. On this slide is a sample of what you should have filled out when enrolling your child in school. On the right-hand side of the slide is the guidance given by California Department of Education on how your school district should be assisting parents in filling out the home language survey during COVID. The link on the slide will also take you to the CDE website where you can find the home language survey translated in several languages. So what is the Initial ELPAC? The ELPAC is the test that is used to measure how well California students understand English. When your child takes the ELPAC, they will be tested in 4 different areas: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Let's also start by answering the question of who takes the ELPAC assessments. Students who take the Initial ELPAC are students who are new to California public schools and have been identified by the home language survey as speaking another language other than English. The test is administered within 30 days of enrollment. You may wonder why students need to take the ELPAC. The purpose of the Initial ELPAC is to determine the English language proficiency of students entering California schools for the first time. It is important to identify students who need help learning English so that students can get the support they need to do well in school while receiving instruction in all school subjects. State and federal laws require students to be assessed so that school districts can provide them with the necessary support for English language development. How is the ELPAC given to students? The ELPAC should have already transitioned from paper pencil to a computer-based test. However, due to COVID, they extended the time to use the paper pencil. The test is given by a trained test examiner. For our youngest students in kindergarten through second grade, the test is given individually. Grade 2 listening and reading will be computer-based and administered one-on-one. However, the writing domain in grade 2 will continue to be paper-based and can be delivered in small groups. For students in grade 3 and above, the listening, reading, and writing section is administered in a group. The speaking section is always done individually. The initial ELPAC can be given year-round because it needs to be given to new students within 30 days of enrollment. This is a sample of what your child's initial ELPAC score would look like. Your child's overall score and performance level are shown. This test has 3 performance levels. Your child's overall score is a combination of the oral language level, listening and speaking, and the written language level, reading and writing. This table shows the 3 performance levels and their score ranges, followed by a short description of the English skills that children at the performance levels typically have. What is the summative ELPAC? Now we're going to talk about the other ELPAC assessment, the summative exam. The summative ELPAC measures the progress students make in their English language development in each of the 4 domains. It is administered every year to English learners until they have been reclassified. Who takes the summative ELPAC? The summative ELPAC is administered only to English learners in grades TK through 12th grade. These students will take the assessment each spring to measure their progress in learning English until they are reclassified as proficient in English. Once proficient, they will not have to take the ELPAC ever again. You may be wondering why students need to take the ELPAC, other than the fact that it is a legal requirement. The summative ELPAC is the test which will help the teachers gain a better understanding of what type and how much support students need so they can learn in English and be successful in school. Additionally, and more importantly, this is the annual measure that tells how much progress students are making in learning English and whether or not they are eligible for reclassification. How is the summative ELPAC administered to students? The summative ELPAC is administered by a trained examiner. It is computerized and administered in 7 grade groups: kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd through 5th, 6th through 8th, 9th through 10th grade, and 11th through 12th grade. Just as the initial ELPAC, all domains in kindergarten through 2nd grade are administered individually, and in grades 3rd through 12th grade, all domains are administered in a group except oral expression, speaking. The summative ELPAC is given each spring between February 1st and May 31st. Due to COVID, students who were ready to be reclassified are able to take the summative now. It is an optional and only again, if your child was ready to be reclassified, they can take the summative from spring. Your child will receive a score report that looks like this one for the summative ELPAC. It will have their overall score, which is a 4-digit number. The overall level will be 1, 2, 3, or 4, where 4 is the highest level and means that the student has a good understanding of English. Your child will also receive scores for oral language, which includes listening and speaking, and written language, that includes reading and writing. The level score will be one of the following: beginning, somewhat developed, moderately developed, or well developed. There is an alternate assessment designed for students with more significant cognitive disabilities called the Alternate ELPAC. Students are eligible only if the team responsible for their active individualized education program, also referred to as the IEP, indicates an alternate assessment. There is an initial alternate ELPAC and a summative alternate ELPAC available for this population of students. Like the ELPAC, the purpose of the alternate ELPAC is twofold. The initial alternate ELPAC will provide information to determine the initial classification of a student as either an English learner or an initial English fluent student, also referred to as IFEP. The summative alternate ELPAC will provide information on the annual progress of the English learners towards English proficiency and will support decisions for students to be reclassified as fluent English proficient, also referred to as RFEP, or to continue to provide services. The alternate ELPAC determines a student's English language proficiency despite significant cognitive impairment and ensures that the student's disability does not get in the way of demonstrating language proficiency. Some of the benefits of this assessment includes allowing your child to demonstrate their level of English proficiency by taking into account their cognitive disabilities, helping the school provide services and assistance geared towards the individual student's needs, and providing you, the parent, an annual report of your child's progress in English proficiency. Who should take the alternate ELPAC? Students are eligible if their individualized education program, also known as the IEP, that specifically indicates that they must take the alternate ELPAC, and their home language survey indicates a language other than English. The initial alternate ELPAC will be administered to all students in kindergarten through 12th grade, ages 3 through 22, whose primary language is a language other than English. If the student is classified as an English learner using the regular initial ELPAC and is later determined eligible for an alternate assessment based on the student's IEP, student will be administered the summative alternate ELPAC. Local education authorities, your school district, must annually administer the summative alternate ELPAC to students identified as English learners until they are proficient in English. This is a computerized assessment administered individually by an examiner who knows the student and their needs. The student will interact with a trained examiner who will collect and record the responses. The alternate ELPAC does not have a set duration. The different points of the exam are administered over the course of one or more sessions as necessary for the student to complete the assessment of English proficiency. The alternate ELPAC operational field test will be administered to each student with significant cognitive disabilities whose individualized education program, IEP, has indicated the need to take alternate assessments. The individualized program teams and the school need to start planning for this, holding IEP meetings, talking with parents, etc. This is the first time an ELPAC alternate assessment has been available statewide and will replace all local alternate assessments for English language proficiency. The window for the alternate ELPAC is the same as for the ELPAC. The initial window is from July 1st to June 30th. The summative window runs from February 1st to May 31st. You may wonder what happens when a student demonstrates proficiency in English. This is called reclassification. Reclassification is the process through which a student is reclassified from English learner to fluent English proficient, also referred to as RFEP. There are 4 criteria a student must meet in order for the RFEP process to take place. The ELPAC satisfies the first criterion, which is an assessment of English language proficiency. Your district will determine when the student has met all 4 criteria. However, parents play a vital role in this process. Consultation parents is one of the criteria. For more information, you can contact your school district or visit the California Department of Education CDE website displayed on the screen. Now here are some tips that can help you communicate with your child's teacher. The partnership between you and your child's teacher is powerful. Your child's teacher is the best person to talk to about what your child is learning. The best time to contact your child's teacher is either before or after school. Ask your child's teacher about how they would like to be contacted, either by phone or via email. When you talk to your child's teacher, ask them specific questions about your child, such as, in what areas is my child doing well? In what areas might my child need some extra support? How can I support my child at home? Is my child receiving additional support during class time? These are just a few examples of how to start a conversation with your classroom teacher. These are some suggestions to help your child become successful in school. Read with your child. Ask your child to tell you what they see in the picture or what is happening in the picture. Provide your child with opportunities to use language. Additionally, here are a few other ways that you can help your child be successful. When it's time for testing, talk to your child about the test. Make sure your child knows that the tests are important, but they are just one measure of learning. The teacher uses tests along with other information to make sure your child is getting the support they need. If you're interested, the California Department of Education has also developed the ELPAC practice test that you can access from your home computer. You can also look at the sample test questions and get familiar with the way questions are presented on the computer. The California Department of Education has created a new website for families who want additional information about student score reports at elpac.startingsmarter.org. This website has a sample score report, additional sample student score reports, additional information on the claim areas for ELA and mathematics, as well as resources for families. Those resources include a link to the Learning Hero site, a flyer on how to have effective parent-teacher conference, as well as links to the practice test. On this website, among other valuable resources, you will find a document created in collaboration with Parent-Teacher Association, PTA, that gives parents additional guidance on what questions to ask teachers in order to create a more supportive environment for your children. This is a wonderful video developed by California Department of Education that will sum up everything I have reviewed here for you today.
Welcome to this overview of the computer-based English language proficiency assessments for California, or ELPAC, sponsored by the California Department of Education. California has over 6 million students. About 42% of those students speak a language other than English in their homes. Over 1.1 million of those students are classified as English learners, which is almost 20% of all students. This makes our state one of the most diverse states in the country. As a result, it is important that we are providing students with the opportunities they need to learn English and be successful in school. Therefore, students who need extra help in English must be provided with supports and instruction based on their level of English proficiency. Let's hear from Jose Franco, an ELD and migrant coordinator.
My family and I got here to the United States when I was 9 years old and had to learn English. It was important and crucial for me to be able to master the language as quickly as possible in order to be able to access the curriculum taught in schools. An exam like the ELPAC helps with that process. It helps identify where an English learner is and where they need assistance so that they can more rapidly master the language.
When new students enroll in a California public school for the first time, parents are asked to complete a home language survey. The survey determines whether a student has a language other than English spoken at home. If so, the school will administer the Initial ELPAC to determine whether a student is an English learner. Students who are identified as English learners are then provided with the necessary supports to learn English. Each student identified as an English learner must be assessed annually with the Summative ELPAC to know whether a student is making progress toward English proficiency. The ELPAC is aligned with the 2012 English Language Development Standards, or ELD standards, and classroom instruction reflects those standards. The ELPAC assesses English proficiency in 4 domains or performance areas. They are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. For listening, students can listen to a variety of scenarios, including conversations, presentations, and stories, and answer questions about what they heard. For speaking, students can speak one-on-one in English for a variety of purposes: to talk about an illustration or scene, support their opinion, retell a story, and summarize an academic presentation. For reading, students can read a variety of materials and answer questions about what they've read. For writing, students can write about a variety of topics for different purposes, including giving their opinion, describing a picture, and writing about an experience or academic information. The Initial ELPAC is shorter than the Summative ELPAC and is given to students only one time within the first 30 days of enrollment in a California school. The Initial ELPAC consists of 6 grade or grade span tests. By administering the Initial ELPAC, students identified as English learners will receive the extra support they need to learn English. Martha Gomez, Director of Language Services, is a perfect illustration of why the Initial ELPAC is necessary.
So looking back at my own experience, when I came in, it took over 6 months before my English teacher knew that I did not speak English. She thought I was just quiet, and because I was a visual learner, I could remember things that she wrote on the board and somehow be able to perform okay in her class. But it took somebody to come in and speak to me and then find out, oh my gosh, she doesn't speak English. So I value ELPAC in that it gives us the information on every student so that that information is accessible to all teachers, and then instruction can be designed to help them do well at school.
Within 30 days of enrollment, you will receive your child's Initial ELPAC results in the form of a parent notification letter, which will describe important supports and services that will help your child become proficient in English. The Summative ELPAC is given annually to students who have been identified as English learners. Here again is ELD Migrant Coordinator Jose Franco.
The purpose of the ELPAC Summative Assessment is to determine the progress of English proficiency for English learners and to determine when they are ready to be reclassified and exited out of our English learner programs.
So, the Summative ELPAC benefits your child by providing your child's teachers with the information they need to continuously tailor supports to each child's needs, showing you where you can help your child improve their English skills, and providing your child's district with information to determine when your child is ready to succeed in class without extra support. The Summative ELPAC consists of 7 grade or grade span tests: kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, grades 3 through 5, 6 through 8, 9 and 10, and 11 and 12. The Summative ELPAC is given to all students previously identified as English learners, and its administration window is from February 1st through May 31st of each year. How the ELPAC is administered depends on the performance area, task type, and the grade or grade span. In kindergarten through grade 2, all domains are administered one-on-one, except for writing in grade 2. In grades 3 through 12, listening, reading, and writing are administered in a group, and grade 2 may be administered in small groups of 10 or fewer students. Speaking is administered one-on-one for all grade levels. California schools are continuing to incorporate technology into their curriculum and assessments to help students gain technological skills needed to succeed in 21st century college and careers. Therefore, the Summative ELPAC is computer-based. By July 2020, the Initial ELPAC also will be computer-based. Students unfamiliar with testing on computers will get the help they need to navigate both the device and the testing system. An advantage to administering the assessments on computer is that computers offer a wider assortment of accessibility supports. The ELPAC is designed to ensure that every student has the ability to show what they know. A number of resources are available to the parents and guardians of students who take the ELPAC. A parent guide to understanding the ELPAC is available in English and other languages on the ELPAC website at elpac.org/resources at the bottom of the page. The ELPAC website provides instructional videos that contain more information on subjects like understanding the Summative ELPAC score report and an introduction to the Initial ELPAC for parents. These videos can be found at elpac.org/resources/videos. The CDE website at cde.ca.gov/TA/TG/EP offers information about the overall ELPAC program, resources and communication materials, test administration, and more. For even more information about the ELPAC, the California Department of Education, in partnership with Educational Testing Service and Smarter Balanced, has produced the ELPAC StartingSmarter.org website in order to provide parents more information and resources they can use to help their child succeed. Because you are the expert on your child, Starting Smarter helps you better understand your child's progress in learning English, so you have productive conversations with your child's teacher and can even better support your child's learning at home. The Starting Smarter website offers you the opportunity to review and download a sample score report for both Initial ELPAC and Summative ELPAC. Starting Smarter also offers descriptions of the 4 performance areas. It even offers sample test questions tailored to your child's grade level, so you and your child can know what to expect on the test. All this is available, along with free resources, to help you understand your child's results, prepare for parent-teacher conferences, and access practice tests. Thank you for watching this presentation on the English Language Proficiency Assessments for California, or ELPAC.
Hey, that was a wonderful video. So to learn more, if you'd like to learn more, the California Department of Education has developed a series called The Parent Guide to Understanding. These are designed to be simple overview that answers critical questions of what, why, who, how, and when about each assessment. You can find those on the website listed on this slide. There are also practice tests available that will help your child understand the type of test questions that they may receive. You can take those practice tests from home with your child. Thank you very much for watching this presentation today. Hope you enjoyed it.